Welcome back to MDL Crochet. For our stitch tutorial, it will be covering the Tunisian front post stitches. There are several. I highlighted 3. You have just the single, you have the extra long Tunisian front post double crochet, and then you have the extended extra long Tunisian front post double crochet. That is a mouthful. I like to call them drop downs just because that's what you're doing. Now you could use these in any sequence you want to use them in. They're pretty simple and easy. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, for this sample, I am using Eddie Bauer's Cozy Campers series in Scarlet and in Dark Marigold. So for the first front post, you're just going to yarn over. You have this stitch, which would be where we'd normally go. Well, there's this one right below it. And if you've seen my anatomy of a stitch video, you know that there is a front post and a back post to every stitch. The back post is here, and there's the front post. And the best way to find them is when you're sticking your needle in, is just hug the post right before where you want to go. Hug it, poke through, and then just angle your needle, and you're going to grab them. So you're going to yarn over. Don't go into one we normally would. Drop down and angle in and pull it up, and you got both of them on your hook. Then just yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and go through 2. And then you'll do your simple stitch in the next one. And then we're going to yarn over, drop down, because we're not going in the one we normally would. Just drop down, hug. You will hug the stitch right before you were going to go. Just hug it, and you'll poke right on through. And then pull up the front and the back. Yarn over, pull up a stitch, yarn over, and go through 2. And that's how you do your front post double crochet. That's just a regular front post double crochet. We're going to go through all the different types. We're going to do it again. You're going to yarn over, drop down, hug the post right before, and pull up your front and your back. Yarn over, pull your loop up, yarn over, and pull through 2. And we're going to do that all the way down, just so we can get the repetition down. Yarn over, drop down 1, and get that front and back post. The best way I have found to get them, and then you yarn over and pull through 2. The best way I have found to get them is stretch your work some. You can stretch it and pull it out, and you can see where you need to go. I'm going to go ahead and do a simple stitch right here. And then you could just stretch it, and you'll see where you need to go. So go ahead and yarn over, stretch it a little bit, and then you can pull up your front and your back post. Yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. And again, a simple stitch. And you need to have a simple stitch, at least one, in between each one. Because since we're dropping down, I'm going to flip it around. Since we're dropping down, we're not putting a stitch right here. So it's going to be a little flappy. So if you did nothing but the front post double crochets, it would just be a big old flap. And that's not conducive to what you want to do. So we need to put a simple stitch in between each one. So go ahead and yarn over. Just drop down 1, stretch your work a little bit, and then poke on through. Yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Simple stitch. Yarn over, stretch your work a little bit, drop down, You can see where you need to go. Stretch it. Literally just stretch it. And pull through 2. And then again a simple stitch. And again yarn over. Stretch it. See where you need to go? Because it's right there. Bingo. Yarn over. Pull up your loop. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then it's a simple stitch. And then your end stitch is normal. And then return pass is just a normal return pass. So that's one version of our front post that we can do. There are several versions, and we're going to do several versions. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this return pass, build up a couple more rows in the marigold, and then we'll come back and we will work on the next. I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, so for the next front post stitch, we need a couple of rows because it takes 2 rows because you'll be putting it into the 3rd row. So you'll have this row, which is you're normally going to go through, the row right below, which is where we went through on the last one, and then you're going to have the very next row. And it's going to go right through here. And how we're going to do that, you're going to yarn over. Pick your 1, 2, and you go to the 3rd. Go ahead and pull up your loop. Pull through. Yarn over, pull through 1. And then your yarn over and pull through 2. And then you do your simple stitch because we need to have the simple stitch for it. Yarn over. Go down 2, 1, 2, and on the 3rd, do your poke through, pull up, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. That gives us our extension so we can do it and make it stretch over those 2. Again, simple stitch, and then yarn over, count 1, 2, and on the 3rd is where we insert. Pull up the front and back loop like we did prior, and then yarn over and pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. Simple stitch, yarn over, count 1, 2, and on the 3rd we insert, pull up our loop, yarn over, and pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. So now we just yarn over, count 2, 1, 2, go to the 3rd, stretch your work. You can stretch it, kind of poke it with your finger a little bit, so that way you get your front and your back post. Poke through, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. And that is it for this stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And then I'm going to do a few more extra rows of the main color. The return pass is just a normal standard return pass. So Alright, so we have done the front post. We've done the extra long Tunisian front post double crochet. And now we're going to be doing the extended extra long Tunisian front post double crochet. This one requires 2 yarn overs, so 1 and 2. Because we're going to count, we need to go 1, 2, 3, and on that 4th one is where we enter and pull up our front bars, front and back bar, and then pull up our loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Then we're going to do our simple stitch, yarn over twice, count 1, 2, 3, and on that 4th one, stretch it a little bit. You're going to pull up your front and back bar, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. That is it for this one. And you can use these in any sequence you want to use them in. just at least a minimum of one simple stitch has to be done in between, just so that way you're not creating a flap, because these don't really stick to anything but the very few rows down, so you can see, and it would create a really unsightly flap. So again, we'll do our simple stitch right after, and then we're going to yarn over twice, 1 and 2, and then we're going to count 4. 1, 2, 3, and on that fourth one is where we will enter and pull up our loop, yarn over, pull up our loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And again, simple stitch. Double yarn over, count to the fourth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, stretch it a little bit so you can see. And this part, it's going to bend a little bit just because we're going so far down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pull up your front and your back post. Then you'll yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. And that is it. So I'm going to finish this up and we can look at it. So again, double yarn overs, 1, 2, 3, and on that fourth one, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then simple stitch. Double yarn over, 1, 2, 3, and on that fourth one, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Simple stitch. Double yarn over, count 1, 2, 3, and on that fourth one, get your front and back post, yarn over, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then we have our simple stitch, and then you're going to double yarn over, and then you're going to count 4 down, 1, 2, 3, and on that fourth one, you'll enter your hook, pull up your front and your back, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. And then we'll just do our normal edge stitch, pull up our loop, chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2, standard return pass. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few more rows of just our background, and I'll close it off, and then we'll come back and we'll look at the different front posts, and I will see y'all here in just a moment. Alright, so we're coming through the last few loops right now, and we're going to do the close off. The close off is just going to be your standard Tunisian simple stitch close off, which is you just pull up your simple stitch and then you slip it off. You're going to try to keep one loop left on your hook, and you're going to do that all the way down so you can close off your project. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up closing this off and then weave in my ends, and then we'll come back and talk about the different posts. Alright, so that's what our swatch will look like. You've got the regular front post, the extra long, and then the extended extra long. And they could be used in any sequence you want to use them with. It can be used in any project you want to use them in. That's what the back looks like, so you don't see where they come down into the project. And then you can work them up in any sequence you want to work them up in. If you found this tutorial helpful, please leave me a like and subscribe, and leave me a comment. I will chit chat with you, and everything is greatly appreciated. And as always, folks, keep stitching.